The arts and ballet specifically sort of have a stigma of not being a lucrative profession. And that for me is a shame, because if you're a ballet dancer, you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it because you love it and it's something you're passionate about. But it is a profession that a lot of people make a very, very good living in. My name is Gutierrez. I'm 30 years old.
I'm Jeraldine Mendoza. I'm 29 years old.
And together we make $178,000 a year.
As professional ballet dancers here in Chicago, Illinois.
We both met at the Joffrey Ballet. Jeraldine joined in 2011 and I joined in 2009. Once she joined the company, we crossed paths kind of immediately, and the rest is history. Last year, I took home about $77,000 from the Joffrey Ballet.
And I made $66,000 from the Joffrey Ballet.
Last year, I made $15,000 in additional income.
And I made $20,000 in additional income.
We bought this apartment 3 years ago.
In 2017 of May.
And it was originally listed at $349,000. Actually, we managed to get it for $338,000 because we offered free tickets to the ballet for a season to the previous owners.
We put down $15K. We were kind of upset that it didn't come with a parking spot. But in the long run, we're so thankful because we don't have a car, and I don't think we'd ever have a car here in Chicago. Our big main renovations were the kitchen and then the 2 bathrooms. I don't really budget per se, but when I do spend my money, I make sure that it is somewhat essential. I don't go to the nail salon, I just cut my nails myself. We don't buy water bottles, we try not to buy coffee. Just those little things that we could spend money on, they do add up. We do split pretty much everything right down the middle.
We love to go out to dinner, we love to go with friends, and also it's been really helpful in relationship building for us around Chicago. We've made some really good friends with owners and managers of certain restaurants that we really like.
I grew up in San Francisco, California, and my parents invested in a lot of properties pretty early. My parents kind of have this money philosophy of if you don't need it, you shouldn't buy it. And I kind of adapted that philosophy.
My relationship with money growing up wasn't really like a focal point of my kind of family's outlook. Both of my parents are artists. My dad being a musician and my mom being a ballet dancer and a ballet teacher, it wasn't like something we mainly discussed. When I met Jeraldine, she really taught me how to value having money. I used to value spending my money, like getting it in and then seeing what I could spend it on. And with her, she taught me how to value actually having it in the bank.
My #1 rule with my checking account, my spending money, is that I always have a cushion of $1,000 in there, no matter what.
So the retirement age for ballet, it really varies. Some people it's 25, they go on to do something else, but full career in ballet will usually end around 35 or 40. It's really important to save now, and we're savers. We like to see our savings. We have it in a savings account.
We don't have a 401k. I don't like the idea of waiting to see that money when you're 65.
Especially since our retirement age is 35, 40. We were very much impacted by COVID-19. We usually have a program in October, which is about 10 shows, and then of course we have the famous Nutcracker, which runs for about 30 shows in December. And unfortunately, Nutcracker and our October program were both canceled this season. You know, while it's a huge blow, we both have been taken very good care of by the Joffrey and the dancers as well.
During COVID, the Joffrey gave each dancer a 4x6 piece of marley, which is kind of flooring that's appropriate for doing ballet. So we laid it out here. We moved this table over there and moved that couch here so we could have like a
dance studio. My last very big splurge was an engagement ring for Jeraldine. I proposed to her almost a year ago on September 26th. I did spend a lot of my money on her ring. I wanted her to have something really beautiful on her finger for the rest of our lives, and I wanted it to be really special for her. And honestly, you know, if I had all the money in the world, I would spend it on Jeraldine if I had the choice.
We're not in a rush really because we're essentially married already. But also our dog Kahlua is a little old lady. She was diagnosed with lymphoma. I think we spent almost like $8,000 to $9,000 on her chemo treatments. And actually yesterday morning we found out that she got it again. The thought of like going to Italy and leaving her behind is like definitely not a priority for us.
We love her very much and don't want to give up on her, so we're going to go ahead with treatments with her again and do our best to keep her around as long as possible. Our career goals for After We Dance seem pretty lofty. It's one of the reasons why we have kind of strict saving rules and why Jeraldine wants us to save a lot of money. One of my goals is to start a production company eventually. So I would really like to create a lot more content around the arts that doesn't just relate to other artists and dancers. I want it to relate to people as a whole.
And I would love to pursue a career in interior design after I'm done dancing. I don't know which avenue to take. I just know that I love to kind of curate rooms and vibes, and it kind of gives me the same joy as when I'm dancing on stage. After our careers in dance, we would still like to hopefully have this place and Airbnb it or rent it out, depending on where we move. But we would like to move back to California eventually, but I feel like our apartment here is kind of prime real estate because we're right next to Wrigley Field.
The reason why I wanted us to be profiled was I think it's important for people to know that you can make a living in the arts. It's not just the people you've heard of that are doing well. Obviously, we don't make a ton of money, but we do well enough to really enjoy our lives and also get to do something we love. And so not only do we feel wealth of the pocket, but we feel wealth of the mind, body, and spirit through what we get to do.